Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Tonight, we kick off the preseason with a good matchup right away between the Arizona Cardinals and the Baltimore Ravens. J.J. Nelson now to return. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive as we get set to see Josh Rosen command this offense, the number 10 pick in the 2018 draft.
In the 2018 draft, there's a lot of debate about who was the best quarterback, but there was no debate about who the best thrower was out of the group. It was Josh Rosen, able to deliver short, long, medium, with touch, throw the deep ball, you name it. He's got it in his arsenal.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a third and about 5.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And now it's Rosen looking. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's caught. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Rashad Perriman, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the early lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open. He has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. Here comes Nelson. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not pump the ball over them.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. The first down carry here for Johnson. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Rosen. Caught by Nelson left side. And he's got this down to the 35. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Johnson on the counter. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll hand it off now. Johnson works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
All right, here we go. Blue, 90.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
The kick by Carlson is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. Do you think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. Spinning again. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on the final play of this first quarter. So possession changes hands on the final play of the first quarter. They take over 1st and 10. Following the interception. They run it here. Where? And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Hut.
Now Hundley. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The play fake. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Throwing, Hundley. And this is caught at the 8. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Eric Saubert from 19 yards away. And the Cardinals are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Carlson now to kick this one away. The return comes from Orleans Darkwa. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Here we go now.
Now Jackson on second down. Going right, and that's complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Play action. It's Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a carry here for Orleans Darkwa. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen.
Right, now,
no gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Here we go. Green, 30.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability, and I couldn't wait to see how he was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now let's go. Green.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play.
Hurry up, here we go.
But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run with Darkwa. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. And the tackle there will go to Charles Harris.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now it's Jackson, flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that will knot us up at 10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Come on, let's go!
They'll drop to throw. Goes to Ware on the screen. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
It'll be just an 18-yard punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Jackson. That's caught out left by Perriman. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Rashawn Perriman, as the first half is winding down, and the Ravens have broken the tie.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and that makes it a 17-10 score. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. "15 seconds, all that remains for this first half as they come up 1st and 10.
Let's go! Brand 38!
They'll run now with Ware. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. Hundley now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down.
Come on, let's go.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Boy, rough crowd. No football for 6 months. Already we're skipping halftime. All right, let's get right back to the action. We're set for quarter 3. Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into the...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. They nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Flacco looking for his first toss. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And they'll go on the ground. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now it's Flacco. Being chased out left. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Flacco from the gun. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open, left him nowhere to go with the football, had to absorb the sack.
And Tucker's kick right there, it's good, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll set up a throw. Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. Justin Watson, 68 yards. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. The lead is theirs here in the 3rd quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these 2 teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. Well, things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
Well, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cardinals on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Come on, let's go.
And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona.
Offense.
Flag comes in. The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long.
Let's go. 38.
He'll drop to throw. And able to find Kirk complete. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They go play action here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick. Instead, it's 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted, and if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Robert Quinn in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. The Cardinals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Let's go. 38.
They'll set up to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His 5th catch tonight, and it's good for a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Looking to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Hundley now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Let's go. 38.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Come on, let's go. 38.
They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 90 yards receiving now for him in the ball game. It's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Spencer Ware, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals have taken the lead here in the 4th. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here comes Darkwa. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Flacco. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Harvey. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Charles Harris in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They'll look to throw. Staying on his feet. He's going to let it fly. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
Here we go. 4th down, 4th quarter. Flacco. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Oh, offensive nightmare there. You go for it on 4th, and the play doesn't even really get to develop a sack.
And it's so unfortunate, too, because you think you've got something good called, but if your offensive line can't hold up, that's often the result. They find a way back to the quarterback.
And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
Come on, let's go!
They run again with Ware. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. The Cardinals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll.